Homes are supposed to be the safest place we know. Rooms we grow up in, doors we lock before bed. But in these cases, people didn't vanish in forests, highways, or strange abandoned places. They vanished inside their own homes. No broken windows, no forced doors, no signs of escape. They simply stopped existing, as if something that lived inside the walls finally decided to take them. The first disappearance happened on a winter morning. Aaron Locke was on a phone call with his sister, walking from his kitchen toward his room. In the middle of talking, he suddenly stopped. Not a scream, not a gasp. Just a sharp silence, followed by a low humming sound his sister never heard before. His phone dropped, the call stayed connected. Police arrived minutes later, broke open his locked door, and found every room untouched. The shower running, a meal still cooking, his phone on the floor. His footprints led into the bedroom and simply ended near the wall. Like he walked into something invisible and never came back out. For days after, neighbors heard scraping sounds inside their walls, like something dragging itself slowly from room to room. Claire Mendel vanished next. She had been complaining for weeks that something whispered in her hallway every night. She said she felt watched while she slept. Her cameras malfunctioned at exactly the same time every night, 3:11 a.m., going completely black for 20 seconds. Then returning to normal. On the night she disappeared, neighbors heard a single heavy knock echoing through her house. Police entered a locked home with no broken windows, no alarm triggered, and found her bedsheet stretched tight. Pulled halfway under her bed, like something had yanked it hard. Floorboards beneath were cracked downward. When investigators lifted the bed, cold air rushed out from the darkness below the house, carrying the smell of rotting earth. A family of 4 disappeared together, leaving dinner still warm on the table. The house was freezing cold, every clock stopped at the same second, and the attic door swung slowly as if someone had just climbed up. But thick dust on the ladder showed no footprints. Teams inside the home reported hearing slow knocking from inside the walls. When they placed their ears against the plaster, they heard faint voices behind it. One investigator swore he heard a child whisper for help. They tore the wall open. Nothing was there. No tunnels, no hidden passage, just solid wood. Daniel, a teenage
boy, vanished while recording on his phone. Days earlier, he told friends that something moved inside his walls every night, crawling fast, breathing heavily through the vents. One night he screamed, saying he saw a pale hand slide out of the darkness under his closet door. On the night he disappeared, his parents heard him shout, then a loud thud. His door was locked from the inside. When they broke it in, the window was shut, the lamp was on, and his phone was recording. The final frame showed the closet door opening by itself. Then the camera dropped and the recording ended. New tenants later complained that they heard someone crying in that same closet at night. Maria Hall and her daughter Iris vanished, leaving behind one of the most disturbing scenes ever recorded. Maria woke up with bruises shaped like long fingers gripping her. She said every night she felt cold breath crawl across her face. The night they disappeared, neighbors heard a scream so sharp it shook the hallway walls. Police found drag marks carved through the wooden floor, leading to the bathroom door. Written on the mirror in something dark were the words, "It came for us." The bathtub was filled with freezing water and floating hair. But the house was locked, the alarms were untouched, no exit, no escape. But months later, something even more unsettling surfaced. A neighbor who lived behind their house reported seeing someone standing in Maria's bathroom window at night, long after they were already missing. A tall, thin silhouette that didn't move. He said it wasn't shaped like Maria or her daughter. He said its arms looked too long. When officers checked, the window was closed and the bathroom was empty. More disappearances followed, each one stranger than the last. People vanishing seconds after turning a corner inside their own hallway. Children disappearing while playing in their bedrooms. A man who vanished while reaching under his bed for a dropped remote. A woman seen walking into her pantry on camera, but never walking back out. When police arrived, the pantry was empty, the shelves undisturbed, and the air inside felt colder than a freezer. In one home, the walls had deep scratch marks on the inside, meaning whatever made them was already behind the walls. The most terrifying theory investigators discussed quietly was that these cases were linked. Not by a person, not by human actions, but by something that lived in the dark spaces of homes, inside vents, attics, crawl spaces, closets, and walls. Something that didn't break in because it was already there, hiding, watching, learning the routines of the people inside. Waiting for the exact moment when they were alone, when they blinked, when they stepped into a dark room, when the house went silent. Some investigators believe whatever took them wasn't physical in the way we understand. It didn't need to open doors or break windows. It slipped through spaces too small for a human. It passed through shadows, it moved without sound. And when it chose someone, it took them in seconds, leaving behind no trace but cold air, disturbed shadows, and silence. And the question that still terrifies everyone who studies these cases is simple. If these people vanished without leaving their homes, where did they go? Did something pull them into the walls? Into the dark? Into a place we can't see? Because if even one of these disappearances was real, then the safest place in the world, the place we sleep, eat, and live, might hide a doorway to something unimaginable, something that watches us from the corners of our own rooms. And if you want more terrifying real unsolved vanishings and cases darker than anything you've heard tonight, make sure to subscribe, because the deeper we go into these stories, the clearer it becomes. Something might be living inside our homes, watching, waiting, and choosing its next victim the moment we turn off the lights.